Excel 2013 pivot tables come with a number of built-in tools that you can use to manipulate them. And in this movie, I will show you how to use some of them, including the Fields pane and also expand and contract buttons within the body of the pivot table. I will use the configuring sample file, which you can find in the Chapter 1 folder of your exercise files archive. This pivot table contains 4 fields of data. You can see them here in the pivot table fields task pane, and they are year, quarter, region, and customers. So the pivot table summarizes the number of customers acquired by region for quarters 1 through 4 for the years 2012 and 2013. You can see that data represented here in the body of the pivot table. The pivot table fields pane contains a number of controls. For example, you can drag fields between areas to pivot the pivot table. For example, if I wanted to put region above quarter in the columns area, I could just drag that field header over, and I'd rearrange my pivot table. To undo that, I would just press Ctrl-Z. If you want to get rid of the pivot table fields pane, you can do so by clicking the Close button here at the top right corner. If you want to bring it back, make sure that you've clicked any cell inside the body of the pivot table, and then on the ribbon, click the Analyze Contextual tab, and then at the far right corner of this tab, in the Show group, click Field List. Doing so brings it back. And of course, clicking the Field List button on this ribbon tab hides the field list, and clicking it again brings it back. You can also show and hide the Expand and Contract or Show and Hide buttons. If you're not sure what they are, in the body of the pivot table, here next to 2012, you can see that there is a button that contains what looks like a minus sign. That's actually a Hide Detail button. The same thing here for 2013. And the reason that they appear for 2012 and 2013 is that you have rows of detail beneath it. So you have, in this case, regions, east, north, south, and west. If I were to click the Hide Detail button next to 2012, then Excel updates the pivot table to show only the total for 2012. And you'll also notice that the Hide Detail button is now a Show Detail button. It went from having a minus sign to having a plus sign. So if I want to show the detail, all I need to do is click that button, and the regional data comes back. If for some reason you want to hide the Show and Hide Detail buttons, all you need to do is once again go to the Analyze tab, and in the Show group, click the plus minus buttons control to hide them. To bring them back, just click that ribbon control again. You can also show and hide field headers, and as you've seen before, it's just a matter of going to the Show group on the Analyze Contextual tab, clicking the Field Headers button. Doing so gets rid of the column labels and row labels. If you want to bring them back, just click Field Headers, and they reappear. So those are some of the basic ways that you can configure a pivot table. The main reason to get rid of the pivot table fields pane is so that you have more room to display your pivot table in the body of your workbook. The other tools, specifically field headers and the Show and Hide Detail buttons, come down to a matter of aesthetics.